Hey everyone, I'm Enrique Wang and we are beginning the second week of our class. I'm recording the video to help you set up your week, and I'm beginning by showing you what you need to do and by sharing the planner for the second week. Previously, I recommended that the first thing that you got to do when you start your week is to read the planner carefully and understand what is expected from you. Um, in this second week, we are moving into more practical matter. In the second week, we are paying attention to writing as a process, and which is pretty much the essence of my class. I began by analyzing one maxim, a very important maxim that relates to writing. I don't believe that geniuses exist when it comes to writing. I believe, as Edison once said, that genius is a combination of perspiration and inspiration. And what prevails is the perspiration, the process, the part in which you work hard. In this case, in the second week, we are analyzing the process beginning from something that you probably learned in the previous week. Previously, in the learning object of week one, you saw that there is something that we call rhetorical reading. Rhetorical reading is to read discerningly, to read squeezing the text dry, and to get as much as we can by practicing an intelligent reading. We are avoiding being passive when interacting with the text, and instead we are exerting our critical analysis capacities. Here in the second week, you'll see that we are going to be walking through a process, and we are going to keep the same process pretty much steadily all along the course. In the first place, you have to understand the information that is presented to you in the articles that you're reading. We are doing control writing in my class, and so you're beginning from very clear instructions about what is expected of you. In the second, third, and fourth writing assignment, you have to read the instructions with care before you start writing the essays that are expected from you. In this second week, you'll see that the process begins by reading discerningly and with intelligence, and by, as I said, squeezing both the text with instructions dry, and also the articles that you're supposed to read as part of the course question and the every assignment questions. In this second week, you see that you do rhetorical reading, that you do some pre-writing, that then you move on to composing the text, and then after you compose the text, you have to revise and edit until you're finally satisfied with what you're presenting. So if you follow this simple process, you'll see that your essays are going to be in great shape. This is in connection to the writing process. So before I continue, I would like to recommend the ones that skipped the rhetorical reading part from the first topic, that you need to go back and study this, because it is part of what we need to do when writing your assignments. In the second week, if you check the planner, you see that you have, as usual, information from the book by Andrew Lunsford. Everyone's an author, and also additional information that you can find in the learning object of the week. But specifically, you have to read from Andrew Lunsford, the writing process, and this is on pages 75, 103 through 103. And then you continue with the language corner with how to write good sentences. And these exercises, this information from the language corner is the information that you're going to be using by testing your knowledge after completing the self-assessments. In the second week, we are going to be focusing on understanding and managing the writing process using pre-writing techniques. Some of you have used pre-writing techniques already in the first writing assignment, but then here In the second week, you're going to see pre-writing techniques in detail. You're going to be exposed to pre-writing techniques such as clustering, which is my all-time favorite, brainstorming, listing, questioning, writing an outline, etc., etc., etc. There are many pre-writing techniques. There is not a single pre-writing technique that I would recommend. It all depends on your writing style. You will also be studying something that is crucial for the essays when you start writing the essays, and is the notion of the thesis statement. The thesis statement is the heart of your essay. The thesis statement is the one single sentence that you should be writing separately, and then before conceiving the essay as a whole, because you need to have a guiding idea to start writing your essays. And in this second week, you will have the first partial test, which is precisely writing thesis statement. And I'm going to show you where you can find this information. And also, we're going to be touching on briefly on the concept of the role of collaboration in writing. So if you check the activities that you gotta complete are parallelism in the sentence as part of the how to write good sentences. You will see the thesis statement. You will have an exercise on the thesis statement that closes on Friday, on Saturday, because the test is on Sunday. And you will also have the first partial test that will be open during the whole week, during the whole day, on Sunday, on the 27th. It's important that you check the learning object of the week, especially in this second topic, because nowhere else you're going to find information for the thesis statement. So if you check over here on pages 1 through 10, page 1, you have the general introduction to the writing process and the maxima I referred to a few minutes ago. And then you will have the process as such, in which you generate ideas and then you compose the text, and then you do the proofreading and revision. And then on page 6, I pay special attention to the thesis statement. I provide here a clear guide of different type of thesis statement that you could be using depending on the expected outcome of your essay. It's important you study this information here because this is the test that you have to take by the end of the week. If you check on page 6, for example, of the learning object, you have the definition of the thesis statement, the patterns of the thesis statement. You will see that you have a single pattern, a limited subject, a claim about the subject, and then the 3 ideas in the blueprint that you're going to be defending. And then you have many examples here of the different thesis statement, and then the qualities of a good thesis statement, neither too broad nor too narrow. It has to be defended in a 5-paragraph essay, covering only one idea, nor 2 or more, because if you write a thesis statement that is too broad and tries to uncover too many topics, chances are that the message is going to dilute. So it's important you are very clear about the conciseness of the thesis. And then avoiding announcements. My paper is going to be about this. No, that is not a clear thesis statement. The thesis statement, you need to make a point. If you want to talk, for example, about education and technology, you have to say education and technology is helping the way students learn nowadays, for example. A mistake would be to say, in my paper, I'm going to talk about education and technology. So that's what I mean, that avoiding announcements. Announcements are not correct when it comes to thesis statements. So this is what you need to do this week. Some of you are still working on the first writing assignment, and one course section already submitted the first writing assignment. So the ones that are still working on the first writing assignment, please, you need to start studying and working on the second topic on the side. The reason why you still haven't delivered the first writing assignment is because I have staggered delivery in my class. I don't want to overwhelm myself by receiving all the essays at the same time, so I set different delivery dates for the different courses. So In case you need anything, please don't hesitate to contact me. But please study the material, start studying now, and remember that the worst enemy in an online course is procrastination. Thank you, and see you around, or contact me if you need anything.